I think not really thinking about what I'm eating and just getting what I'm craving.
Like and subscribe right now, or this spider will crawl on your face when you're sleeping. My 600-Pound Life, an American reality television show, has been broadcast on TLC since 2012. Each episode follows the lives of morbidly obese individuals who, at the start of the show, weigh more than 600 pounds on average. Focuses on folks who have been guided by Dr. Now on their weight loss journey. These are persons who are in grave danger of dying as a result of their severe obesity. While all of this may sound promising, some patients can be complicated to handle and appear to be daunting. Dr. Now, as the finest in the game and recognized for achieving the best deal for his patients, breezes straight through cheating, which is possibly the most disrespectful thing a patient can do given all of Dr. Now's time and resources. Fans enjoy watching candidates reach their objectives after putting in a lot of effort. Despite the fact that the TLC show's idea involves people seeking help in achieving a healthy weight, a select few standouts, on the other hand, have achieved incredible feats. Nikki Webster. Nikki Webster, who weighed nearly 650 pounds and was prohibited from seeing her nieces and nephews because her weight distressed them, was desperate for treatment from Dr. Now during the 4th season of the reality show. "My weight is debilitating," she said at the time. "I despise my body because it is so painful. But I tell myself this. Food is an addiction for me, and it's killing me." By the way, her weight was impacting her profession as a costume designer, and she admitted that she couldn't wait to start eating when she wakes up in the morning. Her parents were the ones that looked after her. Nikki had lost weight in order to qualify for gastric bypass surgery, and she was able to turn her life around thereafter. She eventually lost an incredible 450 pounds and couldn't believe it. Nikki later acknowledged that it was the most difficult but also the most satisfying thing she'd ever done in her life. She was not only able to care for herself again, but she was also able to care for her crippled brother Chris, which had been one of her key focuses. She told People after reaching 194 pounds, "It's hard to fathom now how I used to live." She went on to say that she'd had to learn new coping techniques to deal with life's challenges and that she'd had to learn new coping methods. "I've had to cope with situations I couldn't handle. I'd eat my way out of those situations. I've only recently learned how to cope with them in a more healthy manner." Nikki Webster became a triumphant success story through counseling, major lifestyle changes, and new coping methods. "To be able to start to resemble what I felt like on the inside is really powerful," she emotionally but enthusiastically confessed in her update episode after putting on jeans for the first time in over 10 years. That self-assurance is something to strive for. As she said, "Every day I look forward to putting on new clothes."
Felt like I was just never good enough.
I hate that you ever felt that way.
Amber Rajdi. Amber Rajdi was just 23 years old when she made the decision to change her life. She weighed almost 600 pounds when she arrived at Dr. Now's clinic. Her body was already exhibiting traces of giving out, despite the fact that she was still young. When Amber made an appearance on the show, as her excessive eating habits were jeopardizing her life, doctors had told her she wouldn't live past her 20s. Amber had been overweight for as long as she could remember, and she claimed she felt like a terrible, ugly monster who had problems doing basic things like climbing up the stairs at home, since her legs held a large portion of her weight. She weighed 154 pounds when she was 5 years old, but she was now at a stage where she felt stuck because she was limited in what she could accomplish. The start of her weight loss quest wasn't easy because she was surrounded by enablers. Amber, on the other hand, lost 267 pounds in the first year of her relationship and eventually broke up with her lover.
Yeah, I'm a little scared of being cut open.
Yeah, it is scary. It's
Lonnie and John Hambrick. Lonnie, 35, and John, 34, were both from Texas, but from different cities. By the time they were 10 years old, both boys weighed over 200 pounds. It all began when he felt neglected as a result of Lonnie's illness when they were children. While Lonnie's weight gain became a serious issue after he came out as gay at the age of 16, being raised in a very Christian family, he didn't receive support from either his mother or brother, and the icing on the cake was their mother's remarriage as their stepfather mistreated the duo. Lonnie began his weight loss journey at 612 pounds, while John was even heavier at 686 pounds, and despite failing to fulfill the doctor's first weight loss objective, they both exhibited motivation and were ultimately authorized for surgery. Despite their mother's initial lack of support, which she expressed by saying she missed the massive meals they used to have together, the brothers finally worked through many of their concerns, including those with their mother. Thanks to psychotherapy, John and Lonnie stayed positive and supportive of one another throughout the ordeal, making their tale one of the most uplifting ever featured on the show.
How was your day?
Fine.
Liar.
Joyce Del Vescovo. Joyce Del Vescovo, who weighs 759 pounds, is one of the largest people ever featured on My 600-Pound Life.
Probably means I'm staying here a lot longer.
She was also one of the more confrontational members of the group. Due to her uncontrollable food addiction, which was linked to her parents' divorce, the Kansas native was a big burden on her loved ones. Joyce, 44, hadn't left the house in years and was in such ill health that she required round-the-clock home health care at the start of her episode. Joyce never left her room since she was unable to perform even the most basic tasks, like going to the bathroom. She claimed that she had reached a stage where all she cared about was food. With a weight of 758 pounds and a height of only 4'11", Joyce's body was on the verge of collapsing, so her doctor decided to keep her in the hospital on a strict diet for the time being. Joyce, on the other hand, didn't really stick to the diet when she was eventually returned home to show that she could lose weight on her own. Dr. Now felt that dealing with Joyce's painful background would help her overcome the issues that pushed her to eat, so he set her up for psychotherapy after she missed one visit and gained 58 pounds when she eventually did make it to another. Unfortunately, his patient continued to gain weight, and when he gave her one final ultimatum, he seemed almost certain that she would fail to change her life, and Joyce did indeed fail to meet his demands of making it to his clinic without medical transport 3 months later, so she didn't even go to the appointment, feeling like she had tried her hardest. Joyce was convinced that Dr. Now's program had failed her.
So you ready to go home?
I'm so ready to go home.
Chuck Turner. He was 693 pounds when he went to see Dr. Now. Chuck Turner, at 45 years old, could feel his body withering. His weight was preventing him from doing most things, including playing with his little kid, and it was harming his marriage as well. Chuck's wife Nisa claimed on his episode of My 600-Pound Life that the two were no longer intimate and that she felt less like a wife and more like a caretaker.
But being a single mom, and there's another human being there.
Chuck's battle with weight began in his 30s after the terrible death of his first wife. Unlike the majority of Dr. Now's patients, Barbara, Chuck's wife, was fatally shot at home. Her daughter was later arrested and charged with murder. Chuck went into a slump after learning of his wife's terrible demise. Overeating caused by depression led to increased melancholy and weight gain. In spite of the fact that he later remarried and adopted a kid with his new wife, Nisa, their relationship had become tense due to Chuck's inability to help around the house or care for their son due to his girth. Chuck was fortunate enough to reduce enough weight to qualify for weight loss surgery, and while continuing to struggle with making the correct decisions from time to time, he was able to shed an astonishing 425 pounds. Unfortunately, he and Nisa separated within the first year of the procedure, but Chuck appears to be ready for love again.
If you eat more than you need, it's going to make you hurt.
Tara Taylor. When Tara Taylor began her weight loss quest, she weighed just over 600 pounds and was almost bedridden. The mother of two had to rely on her family to care for her children. Tara knew she needed help since she was always struggling to walk, breathe, and live with chronic joint pain. The mother of two admitted to having no social life, which she found distressing. She determined to seek help. She became unable to care for her children. Dr. Now promptly put her on a low-fat, low-carb, high-protein diet because she weighed over 600 pounds.
I became so far down. I'm just tired.
The Louisiana native initially struggled to adjust to her new, healthier lifestyle, but after a roller coaster of emotions, she was able to do so. Dr. Now's program is gratefully acknowledged. Tara lost 300 pounds, or half her original weight, and was able to resume her role as a mother to her children. While reducing so much weight in such a short period of time took a toll on Tara's immune system, she began to become sick more frequently. Everything else in her life improved. She even got engaged to Eugene, an old acquaintance with whom she had gone on a date during her 2015 follow-up episode.
When you have children, you don't think about yourself. They say, Mom, I'm hungry. Okay, what do you want?
That's all for today's viewers from My 600-Pound Life stories that will blow you out of your seat. And if you liked the video, leave a comment below and rub that like button hard. Last but not least, don't forget to hit the bell icon and subscribe to our channel for our latest videos.